Peace, everybody. It's your boy Minister Jew back with another video. This video, I want to welcome you all to my 3-day resentment and anger purge that is going to be taking place on December 26th through the 29th. And I just want to give you guys some details of what you can expect once you sign up for this 3-day journey that we're about to go on of purging and cleansing ourselves from some of these load-bearing emotions that really don't serve us any good in relationship to our health, in relationship to our magnetism and our ability to create and manifest the better versions of ourselves. And so, usually around this time of year, everybody's getting into their New Year's resolutions. People are adding quite a bit to their lists, and they're learning these different techniques, or they're taking all of this advice. And within it, it's a lot of receiving going on to add on new things into their life. But one thing that I've learned over my tenure in teaching this information and just stepping back, looking at the landscape from some of the results that I've had in my personal life and that people have had within the memberships that I have, is that it takes a certain level of subtraction from your life. Right? The law of attraction requires some subtraction from your life so that things can be added on to it. And you hear it all the time about manifestation. Feeling is the secret. It's how you feel, right? And once we understand that as the baseline principle to manifestation, how we feel is predicated upon the emotional responses or the triggers that we have within our being that create behavioral patterns, right? That create our psychological disposition on a lot of situations. How we basically shape and mold our lives is predicated upon how we feel about certain situations that may have already transpired, or things that is presented to us in the now moment that reassures an image or a concept in our mind that we've previously identified as a truth to us. And so a lot of times when we're holding on to anger, resentment, envy, jealousy, these things are holding up a lot of precious storage space within our hearts and our minds, and it's restricting our ability to receive. It's just common sense. You got closet space, right? When you got too many things in your closet, you're eventually going to have to start giving some stuff away or throwing some stuff out because you've run out of space. It's no different in your own human technology called your heart and your mind. When you start to fill these structures up with these previous emotions that I just mentioned, then you start to run out of space to put anything new in that space or that position. So you're crowded. You've got a crowded mind, you've got a crowded heart of envy, resentment, and anger. And so for these 3 short days, I want to give people some principles and some techniques that they can use moving forward in 2020 to make a habit and a ritual out of, to constantly be in a space where they are cleansing themselves from these type of emotions. And we're just not, this 3-day class is just not going to be about different psychological things that you can do. We're going to actually meet the physical world with this purge that we're going to do. Because see, the mind and the brain is the medium where subjective and objective experience meet. And so if we can mimic in our external world the same thing that we're going to appropriate subjectively, then our chances increase dramatically as far as results is concerned. All right. And so in this video, I just want to kind of talk about some of the reasons why we hold on to resentment, right? One, it's because we think that it gives us a sense of courage, or it gives us a sense of strength. And this can be very true at the earlier stages of whatever the situation is, because we're having to put up a protective modality between us, the individual, the circumstance that may have quote unquote wronged us or made us feel some type of way about whatever it is that happened or transpired within our lives. And so early on, this is a good tool to use to protect ourselves in the earlier stages of whatever it is that transpired. But as we move further and further away from that particular experience, we severed the ties from that individual or from the company or from that idea or from that concept or whatever it may be. Once we've moved further away from it, it no longer bodes well to hold it in our psychology in that space of resentment or anger or envy or jealousy or some of these other negative emotions that we harbor within our emotional bodies. This is very, very, very important. It's only to serve as a protective device early on. And people get that confused because they don't really know the psychology behind their own minds. We're just moving along in this world predicated upon, the level of education that we've taken in into our adult years. And so those are actually pseudo benefits. They're fake as we move further along in our development past the situation. Okay? Because they end up doing more harm than good the further we're removed from the situation. And so, and I'm going to tell you why. Let me get into some of the neurosciences. I love to cover some of the neuroscience whenever I'm having these conversations. Resentment and anger toward an individual or situation, when what we're doing is we're thriving to get this person to see, oh, you did me so wrong. Oh, you made me feel this type of way. Don't you know that you need to apologize for the way that you did me or treated me or the way that you made me feel? And so what's actually happening in your brain when you're saying that, you're triggering neurotransmitters and dopamine, which is related to goals, cravings, and desires. So what ends up happening is the person that you're resenting or that you have anger towards, right? In your brain and how your mind is processing it as if it's a goal that you're seeking to attain to make this person apologize, to make this person feel bad for what they did. So it's not really them doing it. It's the journey. It's the track that you're on to reach the reward that's gratifying you for holding the resentment or the anger. But this is very, 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 very dangerous, because what you're doing is the structures in your midbrain that are responsible for quantum imaging is the term that I use for manifestation on healing levels, on financial levels, on relationship levels. You're preoccupying, your energies, shall we say, your mental faculties, your emotive faculties in your heart. You are taking up precious time and space in these regions that should be used to see real tangible results in your personal life. So what you've done with the anger and the resentment is you've allowed that individual who wronged you or treated you a certain way to become a goal in your mind versus you attaining better health, versus you attaining better financial prosperity, versus you having and working on building better relationships in business or with your spouse or with your children or with whatever. So now, instead of you using that same dopamine, right, which is active whenever you're chasing a goal or a reward, you've put somebody in place to get a fake or quote unquote win against them, right? That could take forever and never manifest. That person may never apologize to you. In fact, they probably don't think what they did was wrong at all. It might have benefited them to do whatever it is that they've done. And so now you're in this repetitive cycle of looking for this person to apologize or get even, and you wasted 2, 3, 5, 10 years of your life because that person has become a fill-in or a shoe-in for a personal goal that will actually elevate you to a point where you don't even care about what they did. It doesn't even become an issue for you because you are now prospering in your own personal space and in your own personal life. So this is the dangers of holding on to resentment, anger, and all these other emotions that I just mentioned. So, and what generally happens is you start to become a resentful, angry person. And you start to project that onto other people who may have not even been the person who wronged you or angered you or frustrated you, but you're projecting that out on other people. And now you're becoming the same individual who you said that you did not like, or what they did to you, you didn't appreciate. You start to become that same person. So this is the actual science behind it. So we're going to get into some wonderful techniques over that 3-day period. Again, we're going to get into some physical stuff that you're going to have to do, and we're going to get into some mental, feeling, emotional cleansing that you're going to have to do as well. All right. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be phenomenal. And I guarantee you that moving into 2020, if you keep applying this principle along with your new goal that you're going to have for yourself, for your personal attainment and achievement and happiness and joy and all of these positive, elated emotions, right? What you're going to notice is you're going to get closer to those things, and all of these other grudges that you've been holding will start to dissipate. They'll be removed from your primary focus. And that's the whole intent. That's the whole goal. So visit the website, theimaginationguru.com. Click on the Shops tab, scroll down to webinars. You'll see it there. 3 days of resentment and anger purge starting on December 26th all the way up until December 29th, which is a 3-day journey. This is what we're going to be doing. The link will be in the description box below on this video. You can click it and take you right into the portal where you can sign up today for this class that's shortly approaching in maybe a week and a half or so. We'll be looking at starting this class. So you don't want to wait till the last minute, because the sale will end a couple of days prior to the workshop and the 3-day journey that we're going to go on. So you want to take advantage of it now. Get to the site, www.theimaginationguru.com. Click on the Shops tab, scroll down to webinars, and you'll be able to participate from there. And again, the link will be in the description box below on this video to take you right into that portal. So with that, I anticipate in seeing all of you there to get this cleansing, to get this healing, to move forward and open your heart up for receiving positive things, growing things, nurturing things that really mean something to your growth and development as a human being, as a living soul. So with that, I want to say peace and thank you, thank you, thank you.